Good morning and Tashidaleg, everybody. I'm sure you all are taking a very good care of yourself, your parents, and especially your studies. Okay? Yes. So today we are entering into the 4th week of English online class, and already we have done almost 24 lessons. Okay? So you have to keep in mind that we have done 24 lessons. Okay, so today is the 25th lesson we are starting, and this is the 4th week. Okay, yes. Now, before we talk about today's session, let us try to recapitulate what we have done so far, especially in this writing section. Okay, you remember what are we doing? We are doing the writing types. Okay, so let us try to go through the the writing types that we have done already. Okay, yes. So I want you to look at the slides. Okay, recapitulation. Okay, yes. We have done the different types of writing. Okay, yes. So already we have told you whenever somebody writes, the writer may be you or writer may be somebody else. Okay, there are two important things that the writer keeps in mind. First one is the audience to whom he or she is writing that small piece of writing. And the second one is what is the purpose. So the writer has got some purpose in the back of their mind. So keeping in view the different types of purposes, we have divided, the writings are divided into these parts. Okay, yes. So what are the different types of writing? Okay, we have the 4 types. For example, the narrative, where you narrate something. Okay, and then we have the descriptive, where you describe a person or a thing or animal or an memory or anything. Okay, yes. And the third one is expository, where you expose. So expose means you show and you explain and you tell all these things. So all these come under this expository. And the last one is persuasive writing. You got it? Okay, yes. Now, if you remember, in our previous session, we have done a session on narrative writing. We have also done a session on descriptive writing. Okay, so I'm sure you all have watched those, which is a session on narrative writing and descriptive writing. Not only that, I'm sure some of you have already started writing the descriptive writing and narrative writing on your own. Okay, yes. So that is the thing. Okay, now my session was the descriptive writing. Okay, I took session on descriptive writing. I already told you what descriptive writing is, what are the things that you have to keep in mind when you write descriptive writing. Okay, yes. So let us try to see. Descriptive writing is a writing which describes a person, a thing, animal, place, memory in great detail. So this type of writing is called descriptive. So when you go through this, I'm sure you must be remembering all the writings that you have done. Oh, that type of writing was descriptive writing. Oh, I remember writing this kind of things. Okay, yes. So it describes. I also told you in this descriptive writing, it's very important for you to show the vivid pictures, not just, I told you the difference between telling and showing. Okay, yes, you should show a vivid pictures using all the senses. What are the senses? Hearing, smelling, seeing, feeling, taste, all these. Okay, now these are the sensory organs, and we are going to use these sense organs, okay, so that you could or we could try to paint a picture of that particular thing that you are describing, a person or a thing or animal, anything, in the mind of the reader. So basically in this descriptive writing, we are just painting the picture in the minds of the reader. You got it? Okay, yes. And then I told you the difference between showing and telling. Okay, yes. Now sometimes when you get time, you just go through the Google and try to see the difference between showing and telling. Okay, yes. Now if you are aware of this thing, I'm 100% sure that your writing will have a totally new look. Okay, yes. who knows, all the writing you have been doing, all these things, it comes under telling. Okay, now you just try to move on to the greater level, that is showing. Now, how do you make your writing that looks show? Okay, yes, okay. And then what are the things that you have to keep in mind? So it's important for you to make sure that your writing comes to this show part and not the tell part. You got it? Okay, yes. Now, descriptive writing, I'm not going to tell, which will take much time. Okay, yes. Now, we are going to look at some samples. 3 samples of descriptive writing. Okay, I just want you to go through this. Okay, yes, it's a small piece. This is just a paragraph. So descriptive writing doesn't mean that it should only be paragraph. Okay, descriptive writing, as I've already told you, can be written in an essay. Okay, yes. So basically you are describing, but you are describing in 2-3 paragraphs, and then we get the essay. Okay, so I'm going to read this. McLeod is a small town formed on a hill in Kangra district. It is more than 200 meters away from the sea level. McLeod is called Little Lhasa because there are so many Tibetans living here. There are snow-capped mountains, crystal clear rivulets, different plant and animal species. Tourists flock in thousand numbers. The smell of pine and juniper trees fills the entire town. Okay, yes. So this is a small description of McLeod. And if you go through this, now since it's a descriptive writing, what you have to keep in mind, that there are so many sounds related to all the sense, okay, all the senses. So you just go through this and try to identify what are the words, used in this, which will come under the different 5 senses. Okay, yes, for example, you see, okay, what are the words that related to see? For example, snow-capped mountain, okay, something that you can see. Crystal clear rivulets, okay, something that you can see. Okay, that the smell of pine and juniper, okay, something related to your smell, okay, yes. Now, this is just a small example. So, descriptive writing like this. If you look at this, I did not use any historical facts about McLeod. Okay, McLeod was formed, and I did not do. I just describe, okay, how it looks, how it sounds, how it tastes. So, if there are some words related to taste, you can also use this. So, this is a small type of writing. Now, if you tell me, I told you descriptive writing, person or place, an animal, what type of writing is this? What am I describing here? Yes? What am I describing here? You have already read this. Now, you tell me, is it animal or place or human being? Yes. So, this is place. I'm just describing a place. So, I give you one more exercise. Okay? Yes. This one. I want you to read. I will read this. You must have heard Chota Bhim. Okay? Yes. Tholakpur, like this. I'm sure you all are, which is fond of this, the serial. Okay? Yes. I'm going to read this. Please meet my special friend Chota Bhim. He is 5 feet tall and has a muscular body. He has a short hair in the front and a small ponytail at the back. He wears a yellow mark on the forehead. His sharp eyes and moon-like face gives him a special look. He has a silky orange cloth wrapped around his waist. The yellow wristband and his travel wise makes him special. Okay, yes. Now, you tell me what kind of writing is this? What am I describing here? Yes. What am I describing here? Is it a place I'm describing? Is it an animal? Is it a memory? Or what is it? Okay, yes. It's a person. I'm describing a person. Now, once again, this is a descriptive. I may not be using some historical facts here because it's a descriptive. What am I supposed to do? I'm supposed to describe Chota Bhim by using the all sense organs. Okay, I may not be able to use all the sense organ. It doesn't mean that you have to include all the sense organ. So it depends upon your type of writing. Sometimes you may use some more words related to your eyes, or sometimes you may use more words related to your smell, like this. Okay, yes. So if you look at this, okay, yes, about the chota bem, I want you to pick out some of the words related to the sense organs. Yes, can you do that? For example, what are the words related to see? Okay, yes, short hair, ponytail, okay, yellow wristband, okay. Any word related to sound or hearing? Yes, do you see? I want you to look at the last sentence, the yellow wristband and the treble wise. So treble, it's a sound, okay. So treble is a word related to the sound, okay. Yes, so this is about a descriptive writing when I describe a person. Or you may describe a person in a better way, much better than the teachers. Okay, for example, you must be having a good friend, best friend. You can write a descriptive paragraph about your mother or father, or your favorite character in a movie or a cartoon or a book. There are so many things you can describe. Okay, so why don't you try? Okay, you just try all writing a descriptive paragraph about your loved ones, okay, as a tribute, as a dedication. Okay, you just try to be vivid, try to use all the sense organs. Okay, yes. Now the third one. Here's another one, the third one. Okay, this is one of the most prized possessions that I have. It is an earthen pot. It has round shape with a big handle and a trunk-like spout. It is painted in chocolate brown color. There are beautifully curved flowers all over its body, which come out when the pot is filled with hot water. It is light as plastic, but more expensive than gold. It has a smooth texture. Okay, now this is one descriptive writing. As I've already asked you, here in this writing, what am I describing? Am I describing a person or animal or a thing? Yes, what am I describing? Yes, okay, yes. Here I'm just describing a thing. So you see, in descriptive writing, you can describe a person or animal or thing or a place or which are memory, so many things. So I have not given you examples of other types. Okay, so I basically stress on this thing: animal, man, thing, and the place. Okay, yes. Now once again, I want you to look at this piece of writing and try to identify all the words related to the sense organ. Okay, this is one. Okay, yes. Now, what are the things that you see? Okay, most of them it's related to seeing. Okay, because I'm just describing. Okay, round shape, big handle, trunk-like spout. Spout means the part through which the tea flows. Okay, yes. Or it has got the trunk-like. Okay, yes, the painted color. What was the color? Chocolate brown. There are so many flowers. Okay, yes. What about the texture? Okay, if you touch the kettle pot, okay, it has got smooth texture. Okay, yes. So here I'm not talking about that prized possession in terms of the history, how I got, why I got, when I got. I'm not talking about all this. I'm just basically describing. So this kind of writing is called descriptive writing, and by now I'm sure you all are familiar with what descriptive writing is. So descriptive writing is one of the four types of writings that we have. Okay, yes. So I also remember telling you the difference between showing and telling. Your writing should be showing, okay, instead of telling. What is the difference? If you tell, there isn't anything you are not painting a image in the mind of the readers. Okay, because if you are seeing that particular person or a thing like this, but the person who is reading your article, they are not saying. So what is your main work as a writer? Your main work is to paint, okay, a picture of that person, a picture of that thing in the minds of the reader. But how? By using all these descriptive words. I told you the figurative words like this. Okay, yes. Now let us look at this showing and telling. For example, he was nervous. Okay, now here what am I doing? Am I showing or telling? I'm just, okay, yes. Now second one is his face turned red and his hands started shaking. Okay, yes. Now you try to identify which one is showing and which one is telling. Okay, which one is showing now? Oh, the nervous. He was nervous is just telling. He was nervous. There isn't anything the reader can imagine. Okay, you are not trying to paint a picture. Now, if you look at the second one, okay, yes, his face turned red and his hands start shaking. So you are basically painting. What are you saying? What are you showing? That you are showing that the person was nervous. Now, if you, as a writer, if you write, he was nervous, for you it may be a nervous. So how can you prove that he was nervous for the sake of the readers, isn't it? So you have to show. So whether he was nervous or no, it depends upon the readers. The reader will just come to the conclusion, okay, he was nervous. Why? His face turned red and his hands were trembling, okay, shaking. So he was. So that is the difference between showing and telling. Okay, one more example. Yes. It was a lovely day. It was a lovely day. From your side, you are saying, okay, you are just telling, okay, it was a lovely day. But how can the readers understand it was a lovely day? Okay, now here we use showing. Okay, let us look at the next sentence. The sky looked like a vast blue canvas of a painter with birds gliding fearlessly. Okay, yes. So you will get some idea which one is showing and which one is telling. Of course, the first one is telling. There isn't any, what should I say, beautiful paints. You are not using any words related to the senses. Okay, if you look at the second one, the sky look. Now, I try to describe what I think. And if the readers, they are reading this, they will try to paint a picture in their mind. And then they may come to say that, oh, it was really a lovely day. Okay, so that is the difference between showing and writing. Showing and telling. Okay, yes. I also told you it's important for you to use the figure of speech. Okay, figure of speech, very important. You know all these things about figure of speech. Now, let me give you an example. She has a long silky hair. Okay, yes, that is one type of writing. Second one, her Rapunzel-like hair is dancing with the breeze. Okay, yes. Now, which sentence comes under figure of speech? In which sentence did I use a figure of speech? First one or the second one? Okay, the second one I use figure of speech. Look at how the sentence changes. She has a long silky hair. That's just an ordinary, adjectives I use here. Now, we all know how to use the normal adjective. Now, you have to go one step ahead, okay, by using the figure of speech. Okay, yes. Her Rapunzel-like hair is dancing with the breeze. Okay, now here I'm trying to, use one figure of speech. And what figure of speech did I use here? Students, can you identify? Okay, her Rapunzel-like hair is dancing with her Rapunzel-like. Okay, the simile. Okay, I'm also use the personification. The hair cannot dance. Okay, so the hair is dancing. Let us look at another example. They eat hungrily. Now, from your side, they must be eating hungrily. Now, what kind of picture do you think the readers will form? We don't know. Okay, so let us look at the second sentence. They eat like a hungry wolves that has not eaten for weeks. Okay, they eat like hungry wolves. Okay, there may be some mistakes here. Okay, they eat like a hungry wolf. Okay, that have not eaten for weeks. Okay, now if you look at these two sentences, which one is ordinary one and which one is a sentence where there is a figure of speech? Okay, obviously the second one. Okay, they eat hungrily. Okay, we don't know. You are not trying to paint a picture that is just an ordinary adverb used here. They eat hungrily. Now you just try to be one step better. Okay, they eat like a hungry wolves that has not eaten for weeks. Now, if you write this, the reader can imagine. They will try to paint the picture of that these people. Okay, yes, like a hungry. So, like a hungry, this is a simile. Okay, yes. So, these are the ways you can use the figure of speech. One more, the storm came and destroyed everything. That is one simple. Now, if you look at the second one, the storm hit my house and robbed me of everything except my memories. Okay, now which sentence did I use figure of speech? I have used figure of speech in the second sentence. Okay, so in the second sentence is more appealing to the readers. The readers get a time to paint their own picture. Okay, so that is the main work of the writer. The storm hit my house. The storm will not hit. Okay, and rob is the word which is related to a human being. Okay, yes. So the storm hit my house and robbed me of everything except my memories. So here I've used the personification. Do you remember last time I just gave you an example of one poem by Tizitsundula? Yes, when it rains in the Ramsala, raindrops comes like a boxing gloves, okay, crashing, all these things. Now these are personification. Now this is how you make your writing, which they say come under a good example of descriptive writing. Did you understand? Okay, yes. Now, things to remember about descriptive writing. It's a writing that describes a person or thing, animal, place, all these things. The second one, okay, you have to show the vivid pictures, okay. And the third one, you have to, which is, know the difference between show and tell. And last but not the least, you have to use the figure of speech. So figure of speech is a writing, it's a language which has got different words. Okay, yes, it has got a different meaning. Okay, so for example, simile, metaphor, personification, these are some of the figure of speech that we used in descriptive writing. Did you understand? Okay, yes. Now, third, we are going to start the third type of writing. Okay, yes. So here I'm going to take some break, okay, from the slides. Okay, I want you to look here. Yes. Now we are here to do the third session. Okay, yes. I mean the third type of writing. The third type of writing is called expository writing. Okay, now this is the third type of writing. We have done with narrative writing, descriptive writing, and now the third type of writing is expository. So expository, okay, yes, the word itself, expository writing, okay, yes, and RY, okay, you can say what type of parts of speech is this? This is, which is adjective, expository writing, this is noun, okay, adjective, noun. Okay, now what is the root word? Okay, yes, from expository we have the word expose. Okay, yes, so expose means you show, you tell, so many things. Okay, yes, now here the writer has got a different, which we say, aim. Okay, we are exposing, we are explaining something. Okay, we are explaining this kind of writing where we explain, where we tell. Okay, yes, these type of, okay, yes. So expository writing is different from the, which they say that descriptive writing and narrative writing. Okay, yes. It, which is the word expose, it explains, it tells, it informs. Okay, yes. Now, this type of writing, it's not unfamiliar to you. Okay, now this type of writing you have already seen. Where? You have already seen this type of writing in most of the textbook. Okay, yes, textbook, newspapers. You have seen this in journals, encyclopedias. Okay, yes. Now these are not just stories. Now expository writing, it explains, it informs. So all the textbook, we have got some content material. Okay, for example, physics or science or English or geography or accountancy, mathematics. Now all these are come under the expository writing because these textbooks explain, inform, all these things. And you cannot create your own opinion or all these things. But here we have to deal with the different types of facts. We have to use the reasons. Okay, yes. So this type of writing, expository writing, we see in the textbook, newspaper, journal. Okay, and this type of writing, we use the facts and reason and data, so many things. Okay, data. Okay, yes. Now these are the things. Okay, yes. This example, textbook, encyclopedia, journal, guides, newspaper, all these things. So you will find this type of writing in this. Okay, yes. And now, what type of writing is expository writing? Okay, now there are different types of expository writings. Okay, now basically I've divided the expository writing into 4. Okay, and these are the first one is sequencing, the second one is compare and contrast, the third one is cause and effect, and last one we have the problem and solution. Okay, yes. Now these are the types of expository writing. So expository writing, out of all the 4 types of writing, narrative, descriptive, expository, and persuasive, it is expository writing which is divided into so many parts. Okay, yes. So expository, sequencing, or you can say chronological order. Okay, let me tell you some which is a brief information about these things. Sequencing and chronological writing. So this type of writing, okay, yes, it's a form of a writing where you try to follow all the things in a step by step. For example, you are talking about the what should I say, the formation of a butterfly. Okay, yes. Okay, so you have to tell all these things in a right order. If you are talking about the First World War and Second World War in a history, you have to tell everything in which is a proper order, chronological, according to the date, according to the year, all these things. So this is about the sequencing or chronological, from the word itself, chronological. And the second one is compare and contrast. Okay, yes. So compare and contrast, this is a type of expository writing where you compare 2 things, where you contrast 2 things. Okay, and we will do this in detail. And the third one is cause and effect. Everything has a cause. Okay, and because of that cause, and there is the effect. Now, this kind of writing, okay, is which is a cause and effect. And the last one is problem solution. You have got one problem and you are given a solution. Now this kind of writing is called problem solution. So there is no need for you to worry about all these things, because we are going to do these expository writing types in details in the following session. Okay, yes. Now the first one, I'm here to do the first type of writing, that is sequencing, or you can say time order, or you can say the chronological order. Okay, yes. Have you ever seen this type of expository writing? Yes? Where there is a sequencing, where there is a order, where there is a chronological. Okay, yes. Basically history, if you look at the history, okay, the Battle of Plassey, the First World War, the Revolt of 1857, these battles will not come all of a sudden. There are some stages. So everything comes in a chronological order. Now this type of writing is called chronological. Okay, yes. Now let us look at this historical. Okay, yes. When you talk about a historical event, it should always use this sequencing or chronological writing. And second one is showing processes. Okay, there are so many processes. Whenever you buy a new which is a gadget, for example, mobile or television like this, it always comes with some kind of a paper. Okay, now this paper will show you how you have to reset all these things. Okay, yes. So these are the process. You make momos, you look at the recipes. Okay, yes. They will teach you how to cook particular dish, and you have to follow all these things in sequence properly. Okay, yes. And last one, which is when we recollect some events from a story. Okay, in the beginning what happened, in the middle what happened, and finally what happened. Okay, we come in, we see this in stories, fictional stories. Okay, so here we also use the chronological or sequencing type of writing. Okay, yes. Now, expository, okay, sequence. Here is an example. Okay, yes, I will read this quickly. Okay, on December 26, 2004, an earthquake under the Indian Ocean caused a terrifying tsunami. Afri Afrizal was building a house when a 30-foot high wall of water crashed over him. Soon after, he was swept out to sea. For an hour, he managed to stay afloat. Then he grabbed hold of a wooden plank. The next day, he climbed aboard a leaky fishing boat. On the boat, Ari ate coconuts that floated by and watched shark fins circle around him. Finally, Ari was rescued by a passing ship. He had survived for an amazing 15 days. Okay, now here is which is a small passage which talks about even with the what should I say, sequence. Okay, there is a sequence, there is a proper time order, and there is a chronological order. Okay, yes. Now you just go through this. And the second one, okay, I've just given you an example of our Tibetan school, how the Tibetan school came into being. Okay, now this is also a type of expository because here I'm explaining, okay, about the how the Tibetan schools came into being. The first residential school for Tibetan refugee children was started by His Holiness on 3rd March 1960 in Mussoorie with 50 students ranging from age 13 to 35. Later, the arrival of 51 children from Jammu Road construction came on the 17th May 1960 led to the establishment of the Tibetan Refugee Children's Nursery with Sring Jomala, elder sister of His Holiness, taking the responsibility as the head of the nursery. The first group of 25 children was sent to Pestalozzi Children's Village in Trogen, Switzerland in October 1960. Subsequently, a separate office was established under the reorganized Tibetan government in exile to look after the education and welfare of the children, which was named as the Council for Tibetan Education. This Education Council later started 2 more residential schools in Simla and Darjeeling in 1961 and 1962 respectively. So if you look at this, okay, yes, there is a small piece of information, okay, it is not a story, okay, it is just informing, it is just explaining you all these things. But if you look at this, there are some, what should I say, words which shows that it is written in a chronological order. If you look at the year, if you look at the months, these are not mixed up. It should follow a sequence. Okay, yes. So this is a type of expository writing. Okay, yes. Now here is just a small assignment for you. For example, I was talking about the life cycle of a butterfly. Okay, yes, the life cycle of a butterfly. There are 4 stages. Okay, now you just try to fill up all these things. For example, the first one, first it lays. Okay, this is the first one, and next it turns into. Okay, third one, then it makes dash 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 2. Last, it turns into a. Okay, so if you look at that small, that graphic organizer, we call it graphic organizer. Okay, you will clearly see that all these events followed in proper order. First, next, then, last. Okay, now this type of writing is called expository writing. Okay, yes. So we will do this in a later session also. Okay, so from the the types of writing, especially expository writing, in this first session, I've just given you some information about sequencing, time order, chronological. These all under same. Okay, yes. Now in this, what you have to keep in mind is you have to keep in mind the transition transitional word or the signal words. Okay, yes, these signal words in this type of writing take the role of a signpost. You see signpost, okay, without the help of signpost, you will not know how far McLeod is, how far which Temple Road is. Now, because of these signposts, especially the tourists, they are able to get some idea. Okay, yes. So these sign words, signal words or transition, they are just like a signpost. It shows you, it gives you signal. Okay, yes. Now, what are these what should I say, sign words in chronological writing? We have already seen the first, second, initially, next, then, before, finally, not longer. Okay, now all these are just signal words. Okay, yes. So, what should I say? You just go through all this writing. I have told you this is just a expository writing. Okay, type, sequencing, and chronological order. I told you there are some signal words which will show you the time. Okay, yes. So you go through these writing, what should I say, once more and try to identify all the signal words that I have used in this, what should I say, writing. You got it? Okay, yes. Now these are the things that you have to keep in mind. These are the signal words. Okay, yes. So I'm going to stop here for the first session. I have got one more session afterwards. Okay, so I will see you in the third session. Thank you all.